Warning: the following broadcast contains strong opinions, playful antics, and controversial topics causing off-the-rails fun. Chances for being offended are higher than average for sensitive people. Viewer discretion is not advised. Live a little and have some fun.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast. Tonight, we have Coach Hallie, we have Coach McVeigh, we have Coach... no. What about Coach... No. Well, guess what? It's just me and McVeigh tonight. And that means it's going to be a quick show with a lot of stuff in a very short amount of time, very little shenanigans, and a lot less yelling and arguing. But so tonight, as you can see, was supposed to be episode 250 for us. Mother Nature got in the way, and it moved a game for Chris and Jason to tonight, so they cannot be with us tonight. They are doing their coaching thing, the good stuff. And so tonight is episode 249.5. This is not 250 yet. This is the 0.5. We're going to save 250 for when all the guys are here.
Yeah, maybe next week or whenever we can all get together.
We'll figure that. It'll be the Christmas episode. Will be episode 250, the year in review and all that other good stuff that we can talk about. But I'm excited for tonight. I'm excited for the topics we have lined up for tonight. We've got a lot of exciting things going on in the area and within all kinds of really good stuff with college football to talk tonight. But so, Zach, why don't you get us started on our first topic tonight?
Well, I don't know if you paid any attention at all to sporting news the last several days, but a lot of changes have been going on. And one of the big ones, it seems like college football has had this soap opera, and it's kind of been around Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin. And so unless you've been under a rock and don't follow sports or college football, Lane Kiffin decides to up and leave Ole Miss, 11-1 Ole Miss, going to be playing in the college football playoffs, Ole Miss, to take the LSU job. Now, mind you, this is not the 2004 LSU program. This is not the 2019 LSU program. This is the 2025 version that decided to fire their coach, Kelly, early on in the year. So it's been a lot of excitement the last several days. You're going into the weekend. It's going to be a Saturday. Nope, now it's Sunday. Nope, now it's Monday. And, Kiffin at the beginning of the week, he's introduced at LSU. Kevin, just kind of what are your overall thoughts on Kiffin and what's been happening?
So you're a history teacher, right? There's that old saying, history always repeats itself. Is this not Kiffin leaves Tennessee to go back to was it USC? Was it that again?
And the Raiders.
He got fired on the tarmac of the Raiders, but that thing went down like a flaming dumpster, just like this is going down.
And fired at Alabama,
it's the whole thing is just it's a weird mess of a story because he came out and he was like he was stalling because he wanted to be able to coach Ole Miss through the playoffs, right? Because they have a really good chance at winning a national title.
Right.
They're that good. He wanted to coach. Well, but I'm going to go take this other job with a direct competitor who's a rival.
A hated rival.
And a hated rival. And I'm be around the players that can then enter a transfer portal to follow said coach and talk them
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
And he wanted to. That got really even weirder when he came out and he was saying that the players were on board and wanted him to keep coaching, and now the players are coming out and saying, "Yeah, I don't remember that conversation going that way."
No, and the
And
thing
then
about
same with assistants now. Apparently his OC, Charlie Weiss
yeah,
Jr.
Wise, yeah,
is going to LSU with him, but Charlie Weiss Jr. is going to be allowed to coach at Ole Miss through the playoffs.
A- and
What in
so
the world? It's as the world as the Old Miss turns. That's what
and
this is. A soap
and you
opera.
yeah, and you throw in the fact that hey, we're gonna have a couple planes, from Baton Rouge come in, and it's like get the ultimatum on get on the plane with me now, or you're not. I'm not bringing you over. And so they had. I mean, everything's speculation running wild before all the story broke, but the whole entire offensive staff was going to go when he leaves, and then it was just going to be the defensive guys, and the defensive guys were frustrated at the offensive guys, and nobody wound up leaving. It wound up basically just being Kiffin leaving. And the funny thing is, I'm sure it's probably all fake news, but he even left the dog. I mean, that's I'm torn about all of this, and talking with buddies and other coaches and all of that. I understand both sides of this argument with Kiffin. He wants to be allowed to coach because, after all, he's the head coach. He should. He's thinking he should be allowed to finish out his term. Okay, and arguably, understandably so. But on the other side, like you brought up, Kevin, it's the idea if you're Ole Miss, we're not going to let you leave and let you take the players mid playoff run. And how he handled it, obviously, this is the umpteenth time that he's botched. It's like he's a sadist sociopath or something. It's like he just, there's this weird fix that he gets on how he leaves a program. But part of it, it's not his fault in the way that the calendar is. And maybe take something like this for the NCAA to be like, we might want to revamp the schedule.
Yeah, it's the whole thing is it's a hot mess of a lot of different circumstances. But a lot of it comes back to the front is he's a narcissist.
Yes.
Very easy. Kiffin is, and he wants his cake and he wants to eat it too.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, it's like breaking up with a girl, but saying we're just gonna stay together just until prom. We're gonna stay until prom, and then after prom, I'm gonna go date Cindy.
Right. Until they announce the king and queen, and when I'm announced king, I'm dropping you. That's. Yeah. Oh my goodness! Look who this guy is coming in hot. What do you think here? Man, didn't come in. He probably had.
You have a whole lot of red and black in your wardrobe with a bunch of different logos on it, don't you?
If they're all patches, you just take one off, put one on.
Velcro patches.
All my Herky shorts got the Crystal City patch ironed across them now. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
Jarvis, we're talking about the Lane Kiffin situation. Tell us your immediate emotional reaction and thoughts to this whole debacle.
This is the NCAA's fault. Period. You got to set up a different. There's got to be a different system. You throw that much money at me, I'm saying sayonara. If it would have been Dylan's senior year, I'd have said, sorry, Dylan, we're going to playoffs. You're going to have a different coach. Coach Buddy, have fun. You're going over here. Yeah. I mean, how do you turn down all those millions of dollars? I mean, how I'm sorry. Well, this is the
story system. is that Ole Miss offered him the same contract LSU did, not with personally the money, not with the money attached to the NIL for the players. LSU offered way more, but the reports was that he would get the exact same contract from Ole Miss for personal funds that he got from Ole Miss, or that he got from LSU.
Would not have the NIL money that LSU
yes, correct.
is going to
get.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, what you're in the game to win championships. You're going to have a better chance of winning a championship at LSU than you are at Ole Miss. Sorry.
And okay, and this becomes this argument because, like I said at the beginning of the show, this isn't Nick Saban's LSU. This isn't Les Miles' LSU. This isn't Ogeron's LSU. Like it's not. This is a defunct LSU that they fire Brian Kelly from, and now they're bringing in this Lane Kiffin, who I'm going to ask you guys this. Besides going 11-1. What has he done? What has he won? How much has he won? Now, we can say he's won a lot, but what has he done in terms of postseason career?
Well, he hasn't finished a postseason. He keeps getting, the one chance he got at Alabama, Saban fired him before the championship game.
I'm not saying my take is correct.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the system is so flawed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It is ridiculous that these coaches are able to jump.
Yeah.
He should not be allowed to leave. He should not have been allowed to take this job until Ole Miss's season is over.
Right.
It is a complete kick to the balls to all those Ole Miss players, and to all the staff, and to all the fans and to the university.
Yeah.
Because that team could capably win it all.
Right.
And here it's Ole Miss's chance. They have a chance to win it all. And here the head guy is leaving and is allowed to leave. That is utter BS. And the NCAA,
they could have let him go. And here's the thing, right? Here's where I'm torn with Ole Miss is that you weren't winning, you weren't relevant before he came, and you knew what you were getting. Again, Kevin said history repeats itself. You knew the sociopathic narcissist that he was when you hired him, but he was going to fill the stands. He was going to bring the offense. He did all of these things. So it's Lane being Lane.
The daughter, yep.
Right? It's Lane being Lane and Lane doing Lane things.
Yeah.
So you can't sit here and be all of a sudden be upset when this happens. And the fact that you could let him coach. It's just that you don't want LSU to be able to potentially take players, which it sounds like they've built a good enough culture that maybe they don't want to go. I don't know.
Well, it's Rick Pitino got on the record at one point and was saying, imagine a college basketball coach at the end of the conference tournaments in February or early March, all of a sudden then leaving to go somewhere else to coach a different program. And and then a one seeds assistant coach has to step up and be the head coach for March Madness.
Yeah.
It's absurd, which maybe this means the NCAA then moves the calendar up, and instead of having a month off before, it's like get rid of the conference championship games, move everything. First round of the playoffs should be this week and moving forward. Most of these guys are all taking online classes at this point. They don't have exam week they have to worry about anymore.
So it's funny you say that. So we went to the Arkansas-Mizzou game this past weekend, right? And poor Weston, he only lasted till halftime. And it was kind of funny. We're sitting there, and he said something. I said, Terlin, what did he say? He goes, he said, time to go. And it was 5 minutes left before halftime. He said, what? Time to go. I want to go. I said, well, he's got to wait 5 minutes. We were at least making it to halftime, dang it. I paid all this money. We came down here. We're making it to halftime. But anyway, they were I was talking to Jill. I said, do you ever see any of these guys, on campus or anything? She goes, they're all online, Dad. I don't see any of these guys at school. I go, well, Dylan sees, some of the basketball players and football players at Mizzou. She goes, Dad, all these Arkansas guys are online students. She goes, we don't see any of them. And so, if anything, hopefully this Lane Kiffin thing cleans up. There has to be something better. You can't keep doing. We can't keep doing this.
No.
I don't even like the cloud, and it's the media's fault too. Just the whole cloud that they're putting on all these teams with just like drink with the whole thing with drink. And
Oh,
I'm glad he stayed. And I know
Yeah.
some people would argue with this and that, but I just don't like the whole situation of all of it.
Well, it's guys like us and anybody that now has a cell phone or has any type of social media. They can put whatever they want. The truth is absolutely irrelevant now in any type of news form or fashion, and you can just say whatever you want. There's no consequence, and this causes problems because we all know, because we live in the world of education. Something gets blurted out there and it's not true and it's not ever going to be true. There's still this, well, maybe it could happen. And so I look like this. Look at the other coaches that still get, they're leaving, but they're still going to coach in the conference championship, and their schools are letting them stay in the coach the conference championship because they got a chance at maybe going into the playoffs too. But the difference being is that they're moving up the ladder and they're not moving to a lateral conference rival.
Yeah, they're not going to directly compete with each other in the long run in this sense. It
was mishandled
it's mishandled by there are a lot of coaching hires so far that the situations are being wildly mishandled in college football. Lane Kiffin one is horrible. The Penn State
let's get on that.
They don't even have a coach, and they signed 4 people today, 3 4-stars and a 3-star. James Franklin apparently flipped like 10 kids to Virginia Tech. And why they left?
They didn't fire him last week. That was 2 months ago.
They fired him in October.
Yeah. And it's like, we're going to have all this time. We're going to find the guy. And apparently they wanted the BYU coach, and apparently that was supposed to be a lock. And then the Crumble Cookie owner comes in and says, "No, we'll match it. We'll take whatever offer it is, and we'll take our Crumble Cookie money and say, here you go." And now all of that, Penn State, as bad as Lane Kiffin looks and as bad as Ole Miss looks, and you could throw out NCAA, Penn State looks like a dumpster fire. We think the Cardinals are a badly run organization. Penn State football and athletics now are absolutely.
Ole Miss's coach left on Monday. They had another coach by Monday night.
Right?
Yeah, and it's a guy that, from what some other reports have said, it goes, listen, Lane was the face of it, but this guy is the reason the team was so good.
Well, for years the offense was great, but the defense was horrible.
Yeah,
that was Ole Miss's problem for a few years. They could put up points, couldn't stop anybody.
Now you just see some of the comments of the players and to what Lane Kiffin said and what gosh, it's such a debacle of all kinds of sorts. It's just, and I've liked watching Lane Kiffin and his daughter do some different things on the internet. So like, it's just
careful how you say that.
I was waiting for you to say something, Kevin.
No, I'm just talking about they do some.
I know.
Things.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah.
Kevin. Gosh, dang. Why you always got to get weird? All right. Not everything Jarvis says is weird.
It's not like there were quarterbacks traiping around at 2 o'clock in the morning.
What happened with Eddie Marino being on the show? I thought you guys were pulling that off. It didn't happen.
He got called into work.
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. So I thought, man, I'm gonna get back pretty early. Well, I didn't expect to get back that early. I thought our game would maybe last a little longer. But anyway, we won't talk about that. I thought Eddie would be on here when I got on, and then I get on, and it's just you two. No offense. I was like,
man.
I still can't believe this is episode
249.
No. It's 249.5.
Yep.
250 is when everybody's here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't see that. I didn't see that in the text.
Yeah, Mother Nature forced us to play an audible.
Yep.
And we went Omaha 249.5.
Okay,
So let's talk about the audible. What's Penn State do? They're going to pick up Brian Kelly?
yeah, who the heck are they going to pick now?
Oh,
What
you're
is
gonna
going on over
I-
there? I mean, like you said, they look like a bunch of imbeciles.
I mean,
I was like, they're gonna end up with somebody's coordinator as their head coach.
Oh, please take more.
I
Take
was
him.
gonna say-
Take Kirby.
It's probably good because Texas A&M's OC is apparently now going to be the head coach at Kansas State because that guy's retiring.
Well, you got
And I
Kentucky
bet you
that's going to
it's
open
someone
up.
like Matt Patricia from the defensive coordinator at Ohio State. Maybe he's got head coaching experience.
Yeah,
Not at the college level, but
okay.
It's so bad that John Gruden does get a job in college, man.
I just can't see him working with kids, college
Chucky!
kids. I mean, his playbook and all he would have to change, and I don't know if he could change, and I don't know if the kids would respond these day and age. These type of kids would respond to his type of coaching. I could be wrong, but you just never know.
What are you trying to say? His type of
Ohio
coaching?
State is
Yeah.
or not Ohio State. Penn State is trying to. Their theory is let's take our time and get the right. Except everybody that's worth it's already taken other jobs. Golish is going to be at Auburn, the DC from Oklahoma, I believe.
Yeah.
Kentucky hired the OC from Oregon.
Oh, the Kentucky already filled it? Well, there you go.
Yeah.
6 SEC schools before Penn State gets a hire.
Well, did you see this Derek Gottman? He brought up what Big Ben said that Mike Tomlin's such a good recruiter. Maybe he should be. Did you see that?
I did.
I heard that today.
Big
when
Ben
he
said Mike Tomlin should be the head coach at Penn State.
It's a Big Ben. He goes, listen. He goes, I like Coach T. He goes, maybe it's time for a new voice in Pittsburgh.
Did he use the new voice?
In a manner of speaking, he didn't use. I don't think he said the term "new voice," but he said it may be time for a change in Pittsburgh.
When you get
he goes, let Tomlin go be the head coach at Penn State.
He must have been talking to someone I know if he heard that. The new voice.
But I don't know anybody that would want to be at Penn State now with the 138th ranked recruiting class. But it's going to have to be a portal jockey to go try and change and get Penn State back because apparently they've lost a bunch in the portal now.
And that just goes to show okay. Do the decision makers of the world, are they that oblivious to what goes on in and around them? And what I mean by this, because we could tie the Cardinals into this, but when we're talking specifically Penn State, can you not understand that your lane at best was what happened last year, where you're going to be number 3 in the Big Ten. You're not beating Ohio State, and unless Michigan is down, you're not beating them. So you might
and
be
you're still behind
3,
Oregon.
and you're okay, and Oregon. Throw Oregon out there too, right? And so you get in once in a while. You get on a good side of the bracket. You're a game away from playing a national title. Be happy with that. Like anybody that's arguing about Mizzou and drink, think about what he's done and think about life before, with the Odoms and all that.
I can't believe some of these Mizzou fans that are just
ridiculous
are saying, "Oh, why are we signing him? Why are we even want him back?" I'm going, okay, I know he hasn't won the big one, but guys, are you really upset we're winning 9, 8, 10 games?
It took Pinkel almost 6 years before anybody was like, yeah, we got to find a way to keep him at this point.
Right.
Like what do you, yes, I want to win the SEC. Yes, I want to make the playoffs. Yes, I want a national championship, but you can't expect it just to go. It's just going to happen.
No.
I mean, you have to be able to be a team like Missouri and to win a national championship or to win the SEC, everything has to play out perfect.
That's even high school sports, Jarvis. You Kevin, you guys know.
Dang right.
You're talking about who on the other team's injured, who on the other team's not feeling good, who on the other team is having a bad day because they broke up with the girlfriend.
I wasn't
Do you
I
get
was
to
a-
see a team's number 2 pitcher? Do you get to
Exactly.
see? Yes.
I
yes,
was a
that's-
freshman in a high school and got to witness the only state basketball title of a boys basketball in Jefferson County, right?
Mhm.
And we beat Carr. We beat a
Mhm.
NBA basketball player from Arcadia Valley.
Mhm.
Well, he was injured. He was not 100%.
Mhm.
And if he's 100%, maybe we don't win.
Right.
Maybe we don't win that district. Maybe
Yeah.
we don't go as far as we do. I mean,
Okay.
things play out in those type of scenarios for you to
Mhm.
be able to win.
And
And
that's, yeah.
and you know, I hope in my lifetime I get to see Mizzou do it.
Mhm.
And it may not happen, but gosh damn it, I'm going to root for it to happen. And I want Drake to stay. I
Right.
might be stupid, but
Right.
I want Drake to stay. I want to win 8-10 games.
Mhm.
I'm you know what? This year, I do think we may have underachieved a little bit, but we didn't have the quarterback. We didn't. And once
We didn't
our
have a
start
kicker.
and
Yeah.
our kicking game was god awful.
Mhm.
Our punter sucked.
Mhm.
And then once our starting kicker went out,
Mhm.
we had to make decisions. Drake
Yeah.
made decisions he didn't want to make
Right.
sometimes. There's
And they
when we had-
battled.
when we had thicker kicker,
Yeah.
we won some games we shouldn't have won because we had that
Mhm.
big fat guy and he booted it through there.
And it changes what you do, and it changes the mindset of if I can get to this spot on the field,
I
I
can
know
get
we're going to
three.
get points. I'm going to get points. So you can be more aggressive. You don't have to necessarily say ball control. But the other thing is, we go at the beginning of the year and we did our predictions. Okay, I think outside of the Vandy game, which they're obviously look at what they did this year. They struck lightning in a bottle, and maybe that's going to be their new norm. You never know. But outside of that, were you really going to beat A&M? Were you really going to beat Oklahoma? Or was it Bama? Was those the other
Well,
three
and you
losses?
look at those
competed.
games.
Yes,
We competed in all those games. It's not like
Mhm.
we just laid down and got
like
rolled.
last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we were in those games. We made mistakes at crucial times.
Mhm.
We maybe had some terrible play calling a couple of those games.
Mhm.
We maybe forgot to give Hardy the ball some. I mean, I'm sorry. I think our play calling sucked in some games,
Mhm.
but to think that it's all drink is and Drake brought up some points that I agree with.
Mhm.
It's hard to compete with some of these other schools with the NIL money they have
Mhm.
and with what they can offer to these guys that Mizzou can't.
Well, just go look at. We have arguably the nation's number one lineman, or at least top 3 linemen, and not
I
one of
think
the
he's
top
the number
prospects.
2 lineman in the country.
Okay, and then he's got to be a top 5 dude, if not top 10 dude overall, in Missouri, the state of Missouri, and
he didn't come here.
and he's not going here. He's
No.
going to Miami. Why? Because they can offer more of whatever he's wanting.
Well, and Miami is 80 degrees right now. I mean, probably
Yeah,
anyway.
right.
It
right.
might not be exactly 80, but I mean,
He's probably been looking forward to getting out of Missouri
Mhm.
for a very long time when he thought this was a possibility.
And
Yeah,
and I don't know, maybe there's track.
I'm not
tie to
speaking
it.
for him, but yeah.
You're right. But okay, you have that. Think about this. Outside of DGB, who was one of these top 3, top 5-star dudes that's like, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to play here. There's guys
I think
that come
Burden
back.
might have been the next closest one.
That next closest one, right? Now you get guys that go to Ohio State or the guys that go to Bama, and then they wind up coming back for their senior year, their grad year. But look at Florida, multiple national champion, Florida, 3 wins this year. So it's a new era of college football, and the fact that we're as playing as well as we are and winning as many games as we are, we should be happy.
And look at it, and we may not get good national attention, but we're getting national attention. Like, we're being talked about.
Mhm.
Our defensive line is one of the top defensive lines in the nation, bar none.
Mhm.
I mean, you look across our D line, Young, McClellan, all them guys, they're dudes, man.
Yeah.
They're dudes. They get after the passer. They can. We defended the run excellent this year. I mean,
they're already saying and even in the linebacker core, when you throw it in, Trotter's probably going to the NFL into the draft because he's getting a first day draft grade already.
Yeah. And think about the linemen. That's the other thing.
Our offensive line.
You had a first rounder last year. You're gonna have arguably another first rounder this year. So what we have to do, and Jason, you had already said this. We've got to lock down the border. We've got to make sure that we keep the St. Louis city kids home, and then you just got to find a QB. You got to find that, and it may not be the dual threat QB, which I think that's what we need in the SEC now. It's changed. But if you can find the uber smart, crafty Chase Daniel, Baker Mayfield type guy, that leader, that's why Vanderbilt's so good.
Oh, yeah. That guy's great. He's great. I love that dude.
Yeah.
I don't like playing against him.
Why? Tell us why. Because he's going to do what?
Well, he can run. He's a dual threat. He's hard to contain. Even our D-line, our D-line did a good job against him. But he's difficult to defend.
And a daggum competitor.
You can't stop everything. You can't stop the run. You can't stop the pass, and you can't stop the quarterback run as well.
Dude,
he's a gamer.
Baker Mayfield is one of my favorite. I love watching him play. I love watching Johnny Manziel play. That type of competitor.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's why we liked watching Chase Daniel play.
Chase Daniel's one of my. I mean, if you watch what he said about Drink, and Chase Daniel backs him 110% backs Drink, and he thinks that it's the greatest thing ever that we're keeping Drink, and he's a Pinkle guy. He's a but guys, we got the best. We have the best coach for what we have at Mizzou.
Right. Yeah. And it was touch and go the first couple of years when he was still calling his plays and trying to figure out what's going to go from App State to here, what's going to work in the SEC and all that, and giving up those reins. But he's uber smart. He understands how to build. He understands where he's at to build and what he needs. It's just that we're that guy. Hopefully we're still on the air. But we're just that QB away. There he is. We're that QB. I think we're that QB away, that competitor. And to segue, because I know we wanted to have a shorter show, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. You talk about competing, and Kevin, I'll let you talk more about this. This is why I think St. Pius is playing for a state title. Okay, is the fact that they have a bunch of hard-nosed kids that want to compete. And credit to Coach Ray and the staff. And I'll say it on the air because I've said it to you guys, said it to other people, and I'll eat crow. I didn't have a clue what he was doing, scheduling the Baylors and scheduling the Senatobas and all of that. But there's obviously a method to his madness. I thought, man, it's kind of hard to build and skip a few steps, but they're there. And it's a credit to the mindset, because having those kids, being a Pius, seeing those kids, being at different places, there is a mindset that is different. And Kevin, maybe you can talk a little bit in more depth and detail, but knowing those kids and seeing the other area schools, that there is something mentally different with them.
Yeah. So we'll get into that here in our next segment, but we need to take a break.
Okay.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little St. Pius in the state championship, and kind of what that means moving forward and what that was for them in the run up to it. So we'll be right back as we try to pay the bills.
I'm an overpowered leaf blower, and I'm not exactly street legal. have the right auto coverage, this could really blow your budget. So get Allstate, save money, and be protected from mayhem. Yeah, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
It's Between Takes with Daikin and Dave Mars.
Good. All right, next set up.
Hey Dave, we got another question about energy savings, and this is a good one.
Yeah, efficiency is so important.
Didn't you just talk with Daikin about this?
They said energy efficiency is the key to a happy marriage. She gets the temperature, I get the savings.
Good to know. I'll tell them to check with their local Daikin dealer.
All right, back to one.
Give Home by SMCI a call today at 636-337-4444 or email them at service@homebysmci.com. In the hobby of collecting, check out Elite Collectibles, open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They carry a wide variety of sports cards, trading cards, magic cards, Pokemon cards, and other non-sports cards. Need some supplies? They also have sleeves, top loaders, boxes, and much, much more. They have online auctions every Tuesday at 6 p.m. and also do bulk grading submissions to SGC and CGC. Check out Elite Collectibles at 1258 Main Street in Imperial, Missouri. You can also view their entire inventory at www.elitecollecting.com.
You need new entertainment. You need full-length content. You need the Real Fresh channel. Hey, I'm Health Fresh from the Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today on YouTube. We have new content. We are a network of podcasters putting out new stuff every single day. Whether you need sports, pro or college, whether you need comedies, whether you need pop culture, whether you need wrestling, we've got so much content on there. Gaming, check it out. Live, not live, we've got it all. The Real Fresh channel. Subscribe today.
Welcome back to segment 2 of episode 249.5 of the Call We See It podcast. If you like what you've heard so far, and it sounds pretty good without Chris here, I'm just going to say that. You find a way to like, subscribe, and share on all of your major ways that you can find this on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and all those other ones that Chris has this set up on channels for. So we appreciate Chris for setting it all up and being there. So, but keep tuning in. Next episode, you'll get to see all the guys here as we celebrate 250 episodes.
Man, who'd have thought?
Man, who'd have thought in 2020 that this would have got 250 episodes?
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? I'm probably not the SEC, I'll tell you that.
No.
So, but as we get into segment 2, we're going to talk a little bit of local football here. St. Pius X High School, my Lancers, are playing for the Class 2 state championship. For the third week in a row now, we can say that this is the farthest that the Lancers have ever made it in football. So they started out the season 0-3, had a couple of wins, finished with 2 tough games against the other St. Pius and then Valley Catholic, and then went on a run, and they've now won 6 straight games going into the state title game this coming Saturday, facing Blair Oaks, the defending Class 3 state champions, who are now in Class 2. Mm-hmm. And I believe they've won 5 of the last 8 state titles of whatever class they've been in. Yeah. I think that's the phrase. I haven't looked it up, but I think I heard something.
Good is what you're trying to say, Kevin.
Really good. So
dominant.
Yeah.
And I want to say that, and I'm just going to say it, and it's as I'm the insider looking in, I bleed blue and gold, so it's hard for me to look past part of this and not kind of think with my heart on these. But Pius has been the underdog each of the last 4 weeks. And there was a lot of people that didn't give them much chance against Caruthersville or against Montgomery County or against Monroe City.
I think you can go
and
back
they found
St. Vincent
a
as
way to win
well.
in all of them.
Yeah.
And St. Vincent, I think it's, it's, but even more so the last couple. And it's as an alum, it's been really fun to watch the last few weeks of football with kids that you get to see in the hallway each day and get to see them have this type of success and do some of these cool things. So, and I'm excited. I'm trying to find a way to get there, having to get all the way over to St. Joe's on Saturday and get back because I got stuff I have to do on Sunday, so I can't stay the night or anything. But I'm going to be hitchhiking, so if anybody's on their way to St. Joe's and give me a ride, that would be great. So, but Jarvis is our local football expert. And I know you didn't get a chance to see the Lancers up front in close because of we're not getting into that part right now.
Well, I coached at Crystal this year, so and it's funny that you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up. There's a big post about how Pius isn't like playing a bunch of the Jefferson County schools and blah 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 blah. That decision, and I'm no longer a head coach, so I can say what I want about this now. That was not made by the head coaches. And many head coaches that I know, and I'm a former head coach, I didn't want to quit playing Pius. I loved playing Pius in basketball. I had great rivalry. Herky and Pius had a great rivalry in basketball and in football. Now, maybe Herky's football coach had a different feel about that. I don't know. I can't speak for Coach Boss, but I think that was made by people a lot higher than head coaches. So
I 100% agree.
I do not think that many of the coaches felt the same way as other people felt. So I'm just throwing that out there because I saw a lot of posts about that crap. And, my daughter didn't get to play against a lot of those girls her senior year that she played basketball with her whole life growing up. And then her senior year, she didn't get to play against them, which is stupid,
Yeah.
But that's my take on that whole deal. But anyway, going back to this, great run by Pius. Frank Ray's done a great job. He's local Little League coach forever, and then came over to Pius. He coached at Hillsboro for a while. Now been at Pius and done a good job there. And I thought it was kind of crazy, like you were talking about the process. I think it was Zach was talking about playing some of those schools and out of state and all that. And great that they got here. I just think that Blair Oaks is going to win this one. No offense, Kevin. I think Blair Oaks is going to win by 40 or more. That's just being the local football guy. No offense, but I just think Blair Oaks is their powerhouse. I just think it's a tough road for the Lancers this week.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you're just getting there, and I will be 100% honest. I'll go to a state championship game and lose by 40. But at least I got to go there. That would be neat. You know what I mean? As a basketball guy going to the Final Four every year and seeing some of those scores and seeing like, man, how'd you go to the Final Four and lose by 60, lose by 70 sometimes? It's like, you know what? They got to experience it. And again, outside looking in and knowing a lot of the upperclassmen and Ethan's a senior and we were there for a couple of years, and it's nice to see. And like I said, I think the decisions that were made have helped them, and maybe outside looking in that we didn't know. We were kind of everybody was shaking our heads at like, what, this doesn't make a lot of sense, and you can't argue. You can't argue.
The results. That's what I'm saying. I mean, that's awesome.
And I think creating a wrestling program has helped. And Kevin, I mean, like I said, before we went to break, the kids are just different. All right. I don't know how else to explain it other than And I know we don't want to talk about the kids, but like we've said that over the years. But I'll let you, since you teach there. They're just different, right? Go ahead. I know them, and go ahead.
You're probably, and I'll say this, my piece. You're probably the best one to kind of understand and explain this process. It's the only place I've ever been as a teacher. It's the only place I ever was as a student. I've basically been a student, a volunteer, a staff member, of coach, and a faculty member at St. Pius only since the fall of 1994, my freshman year. It's all I know. And it's just
you were
the way
a freshman,
that
my senior. Wait, fall of no. So I was graduated already. So wow,
yeah. So, and they think I'm old in that building. So I'm the fourth longest tenured teacher in the building. So, and it's been really cool to watch, because you can see the kids that have gained confidence in what this was. I've seen the football program, and we've always had good years and good people in charge of the programs and doing it. It's just not having a youth football program, not having a wrestling program. It's always been, you take the freshman year that you have to really teach them the game, and then sophomore they really kind of get the feel for the game. And it's not till junior or senior year do you see some of these kids really start to kind of explode in what they're the game of football, their process, and they start to understand it. And we've got some kids that have played football when they were younger now, and but the mentality of it the last few weeks, where they've been the underdog and they're okay with it now. I think they're okay going into the state championship game against Blair Oaks with everybody kind of saying what Jason is Blair Oaks is good, and they know it. They'll be the first to admit Blair Oaks is really good. Their quarterback might be one of the best quarterbacks in the state outside of the kid from Platte County.
Right.
And it's going to be fun to watch those kids that we have in class every day go compete for a state championship in probably, I'm going to say it, probably the hardest sport to get to the state championship game of all the high school sports. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but I think it's probably the hardest state championship game to get to. Even though it's the least number of games that a team plays, it's probably the hardest one to get to.
And that could be a great debate for maybe episode 250.
And how awesome is it that our county 2 years in a row has
and
had
almost three?
Hillsborough
made it to
Festus.
Yeah, they played. They lost.
They didn't make it.
Lost to Kearney in the state championship game. It was either 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
They made it to the state game.
Yes, they played at Columbia. Yeah.
I didn't think they made it to the final game, but okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. But okay, but I know the last two for sure. You had Festus last year, and now Pius.
Yeah.
I mean that's pretty awesome.
I was on,
and Festus was one game away again.
And you talk about the powerhouse and Kearney.
Yeah.
I mean, and they hung with them. They hung with them for a half. And,
for a half.
I now coach third grade girls basketball with Robert Martucci, one of Festus's assistants.
Oh, I bet is a former Jarvis basement dweller. Yes.
Yes. And we were talking, and I was talking about it. I was congratulating him on his season that was going, and he said, man, we played really well with Kearney for a half, and Kearney just was Kearney in that second half. And it was
Kearney came out and said, okay, enough of this.
It's cold, let's get done. We got a long drive back.
One of the really cool things to see, as somebody who's been around Pius for 30 plus years, I was on campus for both. We got to host both state playoff games because of the way the top bracket odd numbered year things goes. The first weekend against Montgomery County, I think we had 1,100 people on campus for the game. Last week against Monroe City, I think it was close, if I remember the number correctly from Coach Watson, 1,300 people.
It's awesome
to watch football at Pius. Our bleachers hold like maybe 800, and it was and if you've ever been at Pius, I got the hillside around one end and in the corner, and it's filled like 7 people deep on the hillside. It's just nice.
And that's what was cool about both Festas and your guys' runs is there were I know at the Pius game, which I was unable, I couldn't go to either one, but at the Pius game, I know there was Crystal kids there, Herky kids there, there was all kinds of kids from, even though Pius is not in the conference anymore, but there were all kinds of kids from the county supporting the Pius kids, all sitting together, rooting them on.
Yeah.
And that's what it should be. Once you get to that point, and you're the only school around left, as a county, we should be supporting each other. That's that's how it should be. And private, not private, whatever the hell it is, it shouldn't matter. And I say Blair Oaks is going to beat you by 40, but I'm going to root for Pius. I don't know. It's hard for me to say, but I mean,
I'm clipping that.
You clip it. You can clip it all you want, but I mean, you got to root for the county school. I mean, even though we're in the whatever, I'm not in it. I'm
suburban,
but whatever that quad crap is, or whatever that
quad county conference. Yes,
I mean, but you got to support the county, in my opinion, and there's too many people that I know that got kids on that team at Pius. I mean, it's what you should do. And there's good people coaching those kids, and good for them. It's always, and you talk about the state of mind of those kids. Once you start winning like that, and I've been on a team like that, I never made it to the state game. I made it to the Final Four 2 years in a row. You just get that feeling of it doesn't matter. You're going to just keep winning.
But making plays, I mean, and that's the thing is, again, watching, being able to, now that we have the wonderful internet and Huddle and Misha TV and whatever you want to call it, and you can watch different games, getting a chance. And I remember Kevin telling you this week 1 against Carousel, I said, hey, they're going to wind up being able to come back and win this. They're in better shape than Carousel was in week 1. And Carousel just big played them and wind up winning the game. And then they get to that district title, and it's like, I think they're going to be able to do it, because you could see the progression watching the Valley game. That was like, okay, they're able to do some things against Valley, and it's Valley. It's his Valley across their chest, right? And they weren't intimidated. And you come out and you just see them popping pads, and again, that goes to that tenacity of those kids that are on that team, man. That grit that they developed and that mindset. And like I said, it is just something different.
They were completely prepared for almost any situation that would happen. They got down 14-0 in the first 6 minutes on Saturday or Friday. Forgot about the change in date because of the snow on Friday. And they didn't even flinch. They just said, all right, we'll go score. We'll get the ball back, go score. And they did on the next possession. They scored 19 straight points to go up at halftime.
Okay. At the end of the game, okay, so Pius scores, goes up. Did they almost score again? Like the other team almost score at the end?
The very last play was one of those, Billy Bob hook and ladder. It's just a play where I run downfield and act like I'm lost.
The band's on the field. The band's on the field.
Stanford band was on the field. They're tossing the ball around. And at that point, everybody's like, I think you could even hear the coaches yelling. Everybody just stay back. Let them throw it wherever they want. And then they'll just run into somebody, because even they were getting tired. Yeah. But they must have made and there were 2 forward laterals that they made during that play. Yeah. So it was going to be a penalty no matter what. But they must have lateraled it 20 times.
It was a good 2.5, almost 3 minutes of them running
of a play.
Of a play. Yeah, they kept it going for that long. But to see, so Pius gets down 3rd and goal from the 2. What do you think most people Pius is gonna do? They're gonna hand it to Shaver, because that's what they've gotten all year, right?
Was there play
he doesn't
action?
Get in.
He doesn't
get in with 40 seconds left. And then there's no timeouts. They put the ball down, and they got a sophomore quarterback who you can tell is organizing what play to do and got the play off, rolled to his left, was going to try to run it in, saw somebody step up, and he just flipped it little toss right over.
I
to
heard
the
it was a
backside of
little
the end zone.
toss right over to the back.
It was a nice little throw, and
the wide receiver made the comment in the paper and goes, "I wasn't even sure what play we were running. I just went to the back of the end zone where I was open and put my hands up."
And you watched the video from the leader, and it looked like Monroe didn't have a corner, a D-back on the receiver, who was Pius's number one receiver.
He saw the quarterback roll out, so he stepped up to get to the quarterback. And what most people also don't know, on that last play for Monroe City, Pius only had 10 defenders on the field. 2 of them ran off at the last minute. One of them was supposed to stay on. Pius only had 10 defenders on the field. So in that moment with that last play, but it was Monroe City was a really good football player, a really good football team. They had a running back who was just legit. Quincy, I can't remember what his last name is, number 22, but he was he ran for over 200 yards that day, and he was just a monster. And they battled, and it was probably one of the best high school games I've seen. There were 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter, 2 in the last couple of minutes, 2 within the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I was getting updates back and forth, and I was like, "Holy crap!" Pius scored, then they scored. Pius scored, then they scored. Holy crap!
It was one of those. Okay, both teams are running, and then it turned into a passing game. It's like, what?
Yeah. So, and it was Pius is known as a running team, and they figured the first play at the box, Monroe City put all 11 in the box, and then Coach Raven figured out at that point, hey, we're going to have to throw the ball, and then you put the ball in the hands of a sophomore quarterback going in the state semifinal, and he threw for over 270 yards and 3 scores. So it's going to be a tough matchup on Saturday. I'm excited to see what these kids can do, being the underdog again, and I'm just proud of them for whatever they've done, no matter what it is, to get to this point anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Definitely.
But, well, guys, you got anything else you want to add for the night?
No, we can save it for maybe next week. We'll see what everybody's calendar's up to, and I know we're weather permitting, we're kind of going to be in the thick of basketball season, at least early on type games. So, but hopefully we can all get together and actually have episode officially. We'll call it 250.
Yeah, we'll celebrate that one as best we can when we get the chance to. So, well, we're going to call that an evening here for the Coach's Box. We're going to go get some rest and have to go back to work again tomorrow. But it was really great having everybody except for Chris here. We missed Chris, but it was, but episode 249.5 is a wrap. And we will see you guys next time on the Coach's Box. Have a good evening, everybody.
Peace.
This episode of the Coach's Box Call It Like We See It podcast is brought to you by Off the Rails Media. Life's more fun when you're off the rails.